Live, local, late breaking. This is Newswatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6:30 on October 20th. Welcome to Newswatch 12 this morning. I'm Carlos Murrieta. We're taking a live look out at Ashland by the Oregon Shakespeare Festival as we're still waiting for that sun to rise. But before we check in with those conditions outside, we're going to go ahead and turn over to our top story this morning. The No Kings protest took place this weekend in several cities across the Rogue Valley, including here in Medford, as thousands of people showed up to the event. People filled the sidewalks of East McAndrews Road all the way down to Crater Lake Avenue and Biddle Road. While most were holding signs, others had a resistance chicken dance party. Also, many shared their frustration towards President Donald Trump's administration.
This is not a hate America rally. This is a love America rally. This is a love our freedoms, our freedom of speech, our freedoms of open trade. All of these crazy tariffs are way too much of a burden on the American citizen.
Some also shared their opinions about law enforcement wearing masks and the importance of due process. And community members also gathered in Grants Pass, and Newswatch 12's Oscar Rodriguez was there as it drew both supporters and counter-protesters.
In the city of Grants Pass, community members gathered to take part of the nationwide No Kings protest. As the streets were filled with signs, people dressed in costumes, and honking throughout 6th Street, people from all ages showed up to the protest and hoping their voice can make a difference.
Well, I'm just tired of the way things are going. Yes. I'm going to be part of it. Yes. Hopefully, maybe it'll make a change.
And over 2,000 people have showed up in front of Chesapeake County Courthouse to participate in the No Kings protest. I'm going to step off camera just to show you some of the signs. But on the other side of the street, there's also a small group of anti-protesters. Anti-protesters had their own signs and their reasons on why they're in the downtown area.
Needed to stand up, let everybody know that 74 million Americans voted for one guy. He won legally, lawfully, fair and square. He's making decisions that are making America better.
While most anti-protesters were peacefully holding their signs, a few others closed the distance between each side.
Have a look at this and tell me if you think I'm afraid. If I can wear this and I earn this, do you think I'm afraid of this?
However, No King supporters were told tensions may rise throughout the day. Despite the tensions brewing at times, it didn't stop the Grants Pass community to come together to have their voices heard.
Look around, there's so many people out. Don't be afraid to come out to these protests. We're having a great time. It's more of a block party than it is anything else.
From Grants Pass, I'm Oscar Rodriguez.
New this morning, roughly 42 million Americans are at risk of losing critical food assistance next month amid the government shutdown. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins announced last week the food stamp program will run out of money in 2 weeks. It's not clear whether the Trump administration will step in to find the funds to continue paying benefits as it had with other priorities. About 1 in 8 Americans receive help buying food through SNAP, and more than a dozen states have also been forced to stop accepting new food stamp applications as a result of the looming lack of funding. And now let's turn over to Storm Tracker 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman for a look at your Monday.
It's a cold one out there this morning and some frosty conditions in some of our west side valleys. There is a frost advisory that remains in place until 8 a.m. this morning for western and central Siskiyou County. Any clouds in some of our west side valleys will clear out as we go through this morning. Lots of sunshine expected for the region through much of the day today. Breezy winds along the coast, and this afternoon it will be a little bit milder than yesterday. Fairly seasonal temperatures expected, so the kids definitely need the coat this morning. It is a chilly for sure, upper 30s, but we'll get into the upper 60s by the time the kids come home from school with plenty of sunshine. Also some beautiful weather as restaurant week continues in Medford. Lots of sunshine through the afternoon. Still pretty cool by the lunch hour though, right around 50 degrees, but by 6 o'clock, 66 degrees with plenty of sunshine and fairly light winds expected in the Rogue Valley. Today, pushing 70 in Medford. We'll get into the low 70s in Brookings with those breezy conditions. up to 67 in Wairika and topping at around 60 in Klamath Falls. Some lighter winds, though, expected today. We will stay dry as we go through the next few days, but tracking some big changes in the return of wet weather by the end of the week. I'll have the details on a shift towards a more active weather pattern coming up in just a bit. Carlos.
Thank you, Matt. And with storm season approaching, officials are reminding homeowners to take steps now to avoid costly damage later. Stay informed, monitor weather alerts and warnings, and sign up for your local emergency alert systems and National Weather Service notifications. Also, prepare before those storms hit. Trim trees and remove dead wood, secure outdoor furniture and decorations, clear gutters and fix drainage issues, sandbag areas prone to flooding, inspect roofs for loose shingles or leaks, and consider impact-rated or storm-resistant windows. Officials say these preventative steps can make a huge difference, helping you avoid damage when severe weather strikes. And moving on to our fire watch coverage, the Oregon Department of Forestry has declared the end of fire season across the entire state. And despite more fire starts, significantly fewer acres were burned than last year. ODF says the difference was their aggressive initial attack, which kept fires from getting out of control. With fire restrictions being lifted, local fire districts are urging anyone conducting open burns to take precautionary measures. And speaking of those open burns, that means debris burns can start again as fire season has come to an end. Even though fire season has ended, that doesn't mean the possible dangers of fires disappear. Local fire agencies want residents to be aware and safe when it comes to conducting debris burns. Even though burn days are only on days where the weather is favorable, local agencies like Rural Metro Fire say if not conducted right, burn piles can spread quickly.
Things to remember, like try to burn in the morning, make a fire break around the pile, make sure that the pile is kept small enough, have a reliable water source on hand. There's a lot of number of things that I think are a package deal of really good, valuable reminders.
Each agency across Oregon is different, so to obtain a burn permit, you can visit your local fire agency's website or call to find more information on burn pile safety. A year after the completion of the dam removal, salmon are now making their return to the Upper Klamath Basin. The Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife says Chinook salmon have been detected on the west side of Upper Klamath Lake and in the Sprague River. ODFW says this is a major milestone as salmon have been absent from those areas for over a century. And turning on over now to School Watch at McLaughlin Middle School, where Newswatch 12's Danny Stepanovich visited a science club that won a national contest, sending them to NASA's Kennedy Space Center. And joining us live now is Newswatch 12's Danny Stepanovich. And Danny, what's the secret behind their success?
Thanks, Carlos. It turns out the secret is pretty simple. The Smile Club has found a way to stay inspired by learning, and it's led the group to some incredible opportunities. Students like Izzy, hands-on experiments and group projects at the Smile Club, science, math, investigative learning experience, is what sparks curiosity.
In the classroom, I'm not as intrigued or enticed, because right now we're learning about atoms, nucleus, and the periodic elements, but I'm not really interested in that right now.
3, 2, 1!
It all started when Mrs. Strong noticed a few of her students struggling to stay engaged during the school day.
It is completely dry.
It's more fun with doing all this interactive stuff rather than just doing the stuff on a sheet of paper.
The curriculum doesn't encourage kids to want to think out of the box. Sam was bored to tears.
That's because the club doesn't just teach science. Mrs. Strong says her goal is to teach the students how the world works.
Where do you think this go again? Okay, don't stop.
Students have competed nationally and even won a trip to the NASA Kennedy Space Center to see how rockets launch firsthand.
Watching that rocket launch made me feel like, wow, I could be one of the people who makes that happen one day.
For the Smile Club, it's about teaching students science is more than memorizing the periodic table, but that the skills they learn in the lab can take them far beyond the classroom. Reporting in Medford, Danny Stepanovich. The club completed various challenges at a science competition that led to being one of 9 schools nationwide that won an all-expenses-paid trip to the Kennedy Space Center. Live in studio, I'm Danny Stepanovich.
Thank you, Danny. The city of Ashland is hosting a housing community resource fair later today, and the event is hosted by the Housing and Human Resource Advisory Committee. It's designed to connect residents with essential housing and supportive resources like home ownership education, rental resources, and mental health services. The event is located at the Ashland Public Library from 4 to 6 p.m., and more details can be found on our website. And we are nearing the final stretch of our 35th annual Coats for Kids campaign, and we need your help to make it a success. There are just 6 days left to donate a new or gently used coats for any one of our more than 50 donation locations. Take a look at some of our local kids who got to pick out a coat from our campaign last year. And this is just really one of our favorite campaigns because not only it's so heartwarming to see these kids get a coat that they need, but it also impacts our community big and it helps them so much. So even if you don't have a coat to donate, you can still make a monetary donation towards a brand new coat, and all the information is on our website at kdrv.com. And once again, thank you so much for your help throughout this campaign.